Good afternoon. This is cause number 2020-74236 in the interest of Eli Noel Martinez III. All parties and witnesses, please raise your right hands to be sworn. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
Yeah.
All right, ma'am. Please state your name and your relationship to the child.
Raquel Medrano, and I'm his mother.
All right. And representing the state of Texas.
Luis Regla.
And we court will note that Eli Noel Martinez Jr. is the non-custodial parent. He was personally served on September 2nd of 2021 in the morning at 5560 Knuth Road in Beaumont, Jefferson County, Texas. This was at 8 a.m. in the morning, and he's not filed an answer. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right. Then we'll proceed by default.
Thank you, Judge. May I call a witness?
Yes.
Ms. Medrano, could you state your full name, please?
Raquel Medrano.
All right, and you have one child together with Mr. Eli Martinez, correct?
Yes.
That child's name is Eli Noel Martinez III,
Yes.
and was born September 24th of 2018, so about 3 years old.
Yes.
Oh, okay. And when you were pregnant with this child, did you have any kind of domestic violence altercations with Mr. Martinez?
Yes.
What did he do to you when you were pregnant?
He punched me in my face.
Is that the only time there was some kind of domestic violence between you two?
Yes, because after that I removed myself and I didn't speak to him after.
Okay. And has he threatened to harm you since then, harassed you, things like that?
He's just messaged me like with the whole child support thing. He messaged me, so I guess like harassment only. That's it.
Were you?
Because I mean, he's in prison, so it's not actually him. I don't know, it's somebody else.
Okay. And on that note, why is he in prison?
For drugs.
Okay. And it's federal prison, is that correct?
Yes,
Or is it
federal
state prison?
It's
Federal
federal.
prison.
Federal.
Okay. And he's going to be in that prison for several years, is that right?
Yes.
You've been making decisions how to raise this child for a while now,
Yes.
without any of his help, is that correct?
Yes.
Going forward, are you asking that you be appointed the sole managing conservator of this child?
Yes.
And because of what he did to you and that he's going to be in prison for several years, you're requesting that at this time we don't do schedule of visits since he's going to be in prison for so long.
Yes.
All right. And is there any kind of health insurance in place?
Just Medicaid.
Okay. And so also because he's in prison, has no kind of support, we're setting child support and medical support and no retroactive support at this time. Is that right?
Yes.
And do you think all these things are in the best interest of your child?
Yes.
And you're asking the court to approve of this default order?
Yes.
Judge, that's all I have in this case.
All right. The court will approve the order submitted. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Ms. Medrano. You can log off now.
Thank you.
I'm waiting for an order, Mr. Regler.
Yes, Judge.
Still waiting on the other order. All I got was the first page.
I think that was Hayden. Is that correct, Maria? Can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, Hayden. We're waiting for the order. She's only got one page so far.
One page? Okay. Let me try with my copy on that case.
Who is the custodial parent? Miss Nolan?
She is the custodial parent. Yes, Judge.
All right.
Let me try sending it from my laptop instead. Maybe there's a problem with the connection for him.
Okay. All right.
I'll do that right now. Okay, I sent it to the printer. Hopefully it comes out any second.
All right.
Still waiting for it. It hasn't printed.
We're still waiting for it, but let's proceed. This is cause number 2021-53276 in the interest of Madison K. Hayden and Faith Dawn Hayden. All parties and witnesses, please raise your right hands to be sworn. You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
All right, ma'am, please state your name and your relationship to the child.
Amy
Children, I'm
Nolan,
sorry. Yes.
the mother.
All right. And representing the Attorney General's office.
Luis Regler.
Court will note that the non-custodial parent is Aaron Joseph Hayden. Mr. Hayden was personally served on September 11th, 2021 at 5:52 p.m. at 10925 White Oak Drive in Conroe, Montgomery County, Texas. He's not filed an answer. Is that correct, Mr. Regla?
I'm verifying that one more time.
Okay, but he's not filed an answer. Is that correct?
Just a second, Judge. My understanding that we were proceeding at the no answer default, but I also have a notice that I can send to the court in this case. And no, Judge, I don't see an answer in this case.
All right, we'll proceed by default.
Thank you, Judge. And ma'am, may I call the witness, Judge?
Yes.
Okay. And ma'am, can you tell me your full name one more time, please?
Amy Nolan.
All right. And you have two children with Aaron Joseph Hayden, correct?
Yes.
And what are their names?
Madison K. Hayden and Faith Dawn Hayden.
And going forward, you're requesting to be appointed the sole managing conservator of both children.
Yes.
And you're requesting a modified possession order, is that correct?
Yes.
Where the modified possession order will have 14 visits of each of the phases, supervised Saturday afternoons, then no longer supervised Saturday afternoons, all day and overnights, before the father could ever get to a standard possession order. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And in fact, is this based on a conviction against this man for injury to one of your children?
Yes.
And what injury did he cause your child?
It was injury to, he got charged with injury to a child.
Okay. And that had to do with one of your children?
Yes.
What injury, ma'am?
he pushed her down, and so if I wasn't there, it would have been an assault to my daughter, and she
Okay.
was 6 at the time.
All right.
He was high on drugs.
Okay. I've got the order, by the way, Mr. Aaron.
Oh, great. Thank you, Judge. And is that the only time that you know if he's been high and caused problems with you or your children?
That it came to that extent, yes.
Did you ever, was there a kind of protective order put in place or anything like that?
At one point, yes, I did have a protection order against him. But since he's been out of prison for the charge, there hasn't been one reset.
Do you know how long he was in jail or prison?
Well, he he kept on messing up. He did the, probation, and he messed up on that, so they sent him back. So he spent 4 years in prison.
Okay. And are you requesting a pickup and drop off at a public place, Jack in the Box on North Main Street in Baytown?
Yes.
Okay. And is there any kind of health insurance in place right now for your kids?
They're in the renewal process for a chip.
Okay, so right now we're going to have government health insurance in place, and we don't know what kind of income this man has at all right now, correct?
Correct.
So we're just going to use minimum wage for 2 children, $75 a month, and current child support of $267 a month, guideline support based on minimum wage. Is that right?
Yes.
And you're not requesting any kind of retroactive support against this man at this time, correct?
No.
And based on what he's done in the past against you and these children, are you asking for your address also to be kept confidential at this time?
Yes.
And do you think all these orders are in the best interest of your children?
Yes, I do.
And then you ask the court to grant these orders? You're asking the court to grant this
Yes.
request, correct? Okay. Judge, I'll pass the witness at this time.
Can you tell me what page the pickup and delivery address is?
Yes, Judge. We chose to include it on page 3, at the bottom of page 3.
Page 3. Okay. I don't see anything on page 3. The last thing I have on page 3 is possession and access pursuant to
And,
the chapter, yada, yada.
and we wrote it as the last sentence on that paragraph.
I'm sorry.
We wrote it at the end of that paragraph.
It's not the last words I have on page 3 is it is found that the order for possession and access is in the best interest of the child.
Okay, that may be an earlier draft then. The draft that I signed and sent over to the printer has an extra sentence right behind that. Let's see if we can get that copy to you, Judge.
Okay, it looks like we have another order at the bottom of page 3, Maria.
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, I see that. Jack in the Box on North Main in Baytown. Is that correct?
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
I think the first draft was the one that was sent at the beginning and was missing the language then.
Okay, the court will approve the order submitted. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.